and we're live.
And we're live. And we're live. Oh, I'm still kind of like fussing with this new shirt that I got, cuz it's like, I was at Costco and they had like Eddie Bauer overstock there, and it's like,
Oh
and I
shit.
love my Eddie Bauer, so I bought a shirt. But you know how it is. It's like it's not like they have all the sizes,
That
right?
is
Like
the most craziest thing I've ever heard a straight woman say.
what? I love my Eddie
I
Bauer.
love my Eddie Bauer.
Yeah,
It's just like I love my Birkenstocks and Sarah
yeah, no,
McLachlan.
absolutely.
Shit.
It's like, look, I couldn't be more basic if without without the pumpkin spice. I don't even like that flavor.
Oh,
you
gross.
know
Yeah, me neither.
so it's like I'm still kind of fussing with the shirt because it's like I had to get an extra large. Usually I'm okay with a large, but it's like I always have problems with the shoulders and the boobs, and
Well, that's because your boobs are big.
yeah, and it's like, and I never can get a shirt that actually like stays shut. So
That's
it's like,
okay. We don't mind. Open it up.
oh well,
Just
well,
relax. In fact, you can take Eddie off. That's
oh
cool
no,
too.
we're good, we're good.
Oh,
We're good.
okay. Oh,
Right.
fine.
So I'm so it's like if you see me kind of like fussing with this shirt because I'm not used
I'm
to how
fidgety.
baggy it is.
Uh,
Like I don't know, it just feels a little too big, but at the same time, it's like I'm afraid if I go to a smaller size, then it's
it's
like, oh
Eddie
no,
Bauer. Them buttons will spread. Like I'm
right.
dead serious, and that's hot as fuck too. Like you leave them top two open and just let it look like all the pressure and tension ripping that
Right. Yeah.
fabric apart. People need to feel like they have to duck in case that button pops.
Oh my
It's hot
goodness.
as
No,
fuck.
no, I don't think I think I could live without that, without my shirts being a danger to society.
It would be so hot. Good morning, everyone. It
Oh
is
my
September
goodness.
20th, 2024, and this is the Raging to the Vlogs on a fucking Friday.
Oh yeah, good thing you reminded me of that. I keep thinking it's Monday for
I did too. I almost took my vitamin D. That'd have been
right.
gross.
Oh no.
Oh, fucking
Uh
hell. Let me see.
yeah.
I gotta find all this shit. All right, you ready?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely not. But hit it.
Trigger warning, fuck you.
And that is awesome. Where's the
Right.
thing?
Oh,
Okay,
oh,
see,
oh,
I'm gonna
there
get
we
it
go.
together. I'm gonna get good morning,
All
Dad.
right. Good morning. Good morning, Nita. Oh my goodness. Yeah, but yeah, I've been having some weird problems with StreamYard recently that it's like I have no idea what's causing it or what to do to fix it.
StreamYard is doing a lot of updates because they are getting ready to do a $50 a year price increase on the professional account,
Oh,
dropping free basic and like basic's gonna be $20 a month now or some shit like
right.
that. And I'm not sure if that includes logos or not.
Right.
I'm gonna be dropping down mine just because
Right.
like we're gonna be making a bunch of changes to the network this coming year anyway.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So
No, because it's like I can only it's gonna
no, it's just typical. We just started
this is
earlier.
typical. Yeah, that's true. Did we start earlier? No.
No, a different kind of show.
Different kind of show. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Yes. So these are also hello Melissa. Hello Rue. Hello
Hello,
Efrain.
Lou and Efrain and
hello.
everybody. Hello, hello.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you know how it is. We start talking and then it's like we forget that everybody exists.
Sorry, guys.
But no, I see you too, our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. If you're watching us from Facebook, if you're watching us from LinkedIn, come on over to YouTube, join the sexy people in the chat. And while you're here, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you get notified whenever our weirdo shows go live. Oh my goodness. No, but the thing is with StreamYard, right? Is that I had to disconnect all of my cameras except one.
Like
it
audio.
would not. Oh, did you? Because I couldn't get it to recognize any of my other cameras. It kept obsessing over one camera that it is my
just
overhead
automatically
camera.
Would go to. That'd be an interesting angle.
Well, no, you're only gonna get the desk if I were to switch it.
Bummer.
But yeah, like even OBS it wouldn't let me use.
Yeah, they're updating everything so that they can make it look fancy, so that you'll be like, I got to have it. I got to.
Right, because I'm on like promotional basic. Like I remember getting a pop-up for them the other day, and it's like, oh well, you get to keep your thing, right? It's like, okay, but of course, squeezins. And and I guess this is you taking away all the extra stuff, from my account, so that
so that I want to upgrade or whatever.
Oh, you want cameras, you have to upgrade. It's like, okay, all right, whatever.
Gotta be so fucking complicated,
right? Yeah.
But I understand why they did it. They ran it long enough to where everybody got used to it. It's the simplest streaming platform there is.
Right.
Everything is streamlined. It's not like Restream and some of the others, which I mean, I would switch to it if people would follow me, but they won't because they all old and stubborn. JD, I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah.
But anyway, and because I like them, I will stay with StreamYard.
Right.
But I'm probably gonna do I'm gonna probably downgrade the Pro, especially because since StreamYard and Facebook have so much fucking conflict.
Yeah, that's true.
There's really, I mean, outside of my YouTube channel, your YouTube channel, and my Facebook profile. LinkedIn, I mean, we get some people from there or whatever, Twitter, whatever, but we can share out there. I don't need more than fucking 3 destinations anymore.
That's true. Yeah.
Especially with school starting, and I'm downsizing on the network anyway to save time. So, or I don't know. Who knows? I don't know what I'll let you know when the impulse.
That's
time
true.
To renew.
That's true. So hello everyone. Now that we've bored everybody to death, hello everyone. My name is Daphne Lage, and I am a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and you know what that means.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And I am known for the furry fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which returns to Kickstarter on October 28th. It's like, look, this campaign isn't even like dead in the ground yet, and already I have one, all ready to go. So yeah, Tall Tales returns to Kickstarter on October 28th with the first volume of the Tears of the Mother trade paperback of the story arc. It collects issues 1 through 4 of this 8-issue limited series. So keep an eye out for that. The pre-launch page, if I'm lucky, should be live later on today. So keep an eye out for that. I am also known for my medieval fantasy drama, Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which also returns to Kickstarter early 2025 with issue 9 of this 16-issue series. So also Eagle Raven and Tall Tales can be read on Webtoons as well. Eagle Raven updates every Tuesday on Webtoon, and Tall Tales, starting from the beginning, Thieves Quest, updates every Thursday on Webtoon. So it's just another place for you to be able to read it for free.
Free.
Yeah, free is good. $3. And you can also read my comics online at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, and Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make my comics here on YouTube at Daphne Lage, LAGE Art, where you can go through, sift through, however you want to sort through it, 600 plus videos of draw streams, live streams, speed paints, tutorials. I got it all on my channel at Daphne Lage, Lager, which also simulcasts through the Indie Comics Network. And to tell you more about it, here's Nita.
It's Indie Comics Network. It's on YouTube. You can find it at indiecomicsnetwork.com. Sometimes because the fucking place I'm using to buy my domain goes back and forth, and I'm always having to fucking contact them. It's like, hey, my shit changed. What's the deal?
Yeah.
But like, it's Indie Comics Network on YouTube. You can find it. It's pretty fucking easy. In fact, if you Google it, it's the first thing that pops up now.
Oh, so, there you go.
Yeah, so it's all good.
Indie Comics Network?
Yeah, .com.
It's .com. Got.
And there's daily comics centered stuff.
Right. Yeah. We try to keep it, mostly on comics, but as you can tell from the beginning of this show, we talk about it, about whatever comes to mind.
Indie creators stuff.
Right, yeah.
I'm totally changing it.
Indie creators bitching about stuff.
Indie creators bitching about stuff.
No matter what, there are indie creators involved. So
we're changing the name to ICBENDSCQR.
What?
I don't know.
What? Now you're asking me to spell too?
Fuck.
I can barely do maths. Oh my goodness. So yes, so for those of you who don't know, and I forgot to, but the thing is, it's in the show notes too. Actually, you know what? Let me do that while we're here. So House of Bob is on its last hour. Well, under its final hour on a Kickstarter right now. This is your last call to pick up the first 2 sketchbooks of my sketchbook series. And if you're the type that likes to collect original artwork, this is also your last chance to pick up actual commissions from me. I don't do open call commissions. So if this is something that you've always wanted to get from me, is a commission from me, this is the campaign to do it. So yeah, I just want to thank the 102 backers who backed this campaign for let me just show it right here, for the House of Bob Fetish Fantasy and the remix, kind of like the remake of Mondo Bondo, which is a sketchbook that I released back in '97, and I remastered it for this new collection. So for these, if you want to pick up these books, on the campaign, they will be available on my store also later on this year. But if you want to get the first editions of these books, support the campaign, and you'll get them. And you'll get, actually, as you can see, they're ready to go. They're proofed and printed. So after this campaign ends, as always, I'm going to spend the weekend doing the actual counts. And then once we kind of get the, usually there are backers who kind of like don't update or forget to update their credit card information. We give them enough time for them to get that sorted out. And then I'm going to place the order, and hopefully in about 2 weeks, I'll be able to start sending books out. For those of you who are ordering commissions, I am also looking to get those out as quickly as I can as well, so you're not waiting too long to get your original artwork. Most definitely, though, my goal is to get all the commissions done by December. So I am not going into the new year owing people anything. So if you're a little concerned,
of commissions.
Yeah, there's a lot of commissions there. I'm going to be busy for the rest of the year. But you know what? It's like I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going back. It's like I've been working all my artwork digitally in Clip Studio Paint for like the past several months, and I am actually looking forward to doing hand-drawn commissions again. Because what I want to do with the commissions is that all the base artwork is all going to be hand-drawn. So everyone's going to get an actual physical piece of media from their commissions. Even the digital level, there is going to be a hand-drawn image, a hand-drawn illustration that you're going to get with your a final digital file of the commission. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. I think that it's good to switch back and forth from traditional to digital as much as I can. So yeah, so that's, I guess, like bonus for everybody. I think most people are so used to getting like digital artwork that they don't expect to get any physical anything. But no, for this campaign, you're going to get
physically stimulated.
Yes, in a phrase, in in a way of speaking. Also, I don't know if I showed this to everybody, but I think what do I have here? 8 of you, 8 random people on the campaign is going to be receiving. I was just playing around with this.
And the keychains?
Yes,
Hold up.
Yeah, so 8 random people. So I made these keychains, just a couple of them just to test it out as to how they would look. So 8 of you are going to receive this keychain, House of Bob keychain, in or charm, depending on how you want to use it, in your pledge. So of course you have to pledge to a physical level for me to choose. Well, like I said, it's like for me to choose who's going to get these keychains. So like I said, I have only 8 of these, and I think they came out pretty cute.
They're adorable.
Yeah. So also another thing that I was actually pretty pretty hyped up about. So when I did the Eagle Raven campaign, right, I was experimenting with using reusable stickers to seal the packages, right?
Right.
And I liked them so much that I decided to do that with House of Bob as well. So when you get your book, which by the way, they are going to be in like a nice bag and board for you. It's exact size. So you're not getting, because before I think I was putting everything in like just a comic book bag and board, but I decided to get bags that are the size of the actual book. So it's going to look nice when you get it, right? And then you're going to get the reusable sticker that I'm going to be using it to seal the bag, just like with the Eagle Raven book. So you're going to get that sticker right there, right? And because it's reusable, you're going to be able to peel it off
and stick it to your laptop.
Right, exactly. Just like Nita did when I showed her the sticker. So I thought that came out pretty nice. I'm really liking this idea of reusable stickers to seal the bag. There's something about branding. I guess, I don't know. It just looks
so
nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it just looks nice. Instead of having like the tape or the washi tape or anything. So so that's what we're looking at right here for now. So 100, thank you so much to the 103 backers who have pledged $7,383 on this campaign. I do have to admit, I am absolutely floored by how this campaign did. I mean, when I first released House of Bob on Kickstarter, I think I only had like 47 backers, and I raised about $2,000, which is pretty good. I mean, that was pretty good for my second solo campaign, and I'm not complaining at all.
No, not at all.
So right, yeah. So it's like, but it's just so interesting to see like when did I put that? When did I put that out? Oh, I don't remember when the first campaign came out. It was like a couple of years. I think it was like 2020, I think.
2020 or 2021?
No, because 2021 was Eagle Raven. So it had to have been around 2020. Right? Early 2020 or right before Eagle Raven. So, but definitely 2020. And here we are in 2024, and now I'm at 103 backers and raising almost $7,500 on my sketchbooks. So thank you. I cannot be more grateful for that. And yes, you can be sure that there will be another sketchbook campaign next year with more sketchbooks, with more remixes. And I have to go through my art collection and like really start. You know what I like about these sketchbooks is how it's allowing me the opportunity to archive this artwork in a way that everybody can enjoy it. You know, I do have a lot of artwork that's just like kind of like literally in a box, just sitting there, right? And I go, you know what? It's time to kind of like bring these out and put them together and archive them properly, you know, and kind of like just put it out there. You know, it's like maybe I think my next thing I want to put together is a color sketchbook that has all of my fan art stuff that I did like years ago. It's like they're so it's like they're pretty enjoy. I still like them. So, to have like a nice color collection of those pieces as well. If you're the type that likes to collect fan art, this is probably going to be like an ultimate collection for you. It was just, so it's just really nice that people are reacting to this sketchbook and the thought of more sketchbooks this way, because I have had people ask, it's like, hey, it's like, I would love to pledge, but I'm not really into the spicy stuff. Are you going to make more sketchbooks that aren't like that? And I go, you know what? Yeah, I am. It's like probably what I'm going to do is like just like the main focus of the campaign is going to be House of Bob, but there's going to be like all these other sketchbooks available as well on the campaign. So it's like, you know what, if you don't want a House of Bob book, that you can still pick up the other like non-spicy, just the regular sketchbooks if you want. So this is going to be definitely a very interesting journey for this. So you have 38 minutes to go to support the campaign. So this campaign closes at noon. I put the link in the chat, but it's also in the show notes as well. So, so that's it for now for this. But again, thank you everybody who have pledged so far, and we'll come back to that in about a half hour. So, I have to admit though, but because really, it's like, Nita, your promo on this campaign has been like on point. I mean, you have been doing some stuff with reels and, like special effects and how you're like kind of like putting my artwork with music. And it's just been, that's been like,
it's hot.
Like, top level. No, for real. I think like, I was just like really, because there was like this 3D one you did for Dustin, that I was like going, oh my God, it's like you really did come a long way in such a short amount of time.
A lot is the technology, because I do cheat. I use apps, like I use like 4 different apps to create one reel, and they always give credit to CapCut, but don't do that because that's not the case. I just transfer the information over there.
Right.
But like, I don't know. I started playing with it because one thing I regret is Meredith wanted to pull me into a StreamYard and teach me how to make promotional videos.
Oh,
and I fucking never did that.
Right.
Like I kept putting it off. I'm like, I ain't gonna. That's your part of the job.
We had the time, right?
Yeah. It was like I thought, hey, that's your part. You got that, whatever. But so when I realized the reels my 13-year-old was making and how the transitions looked and everything, I was like, hey, I need your help.
Right.
And my kid legit started a tutorial with me on how to use the different apps and stuff, and it was like, and it's worked in my favor, and it's boosted my analytics. I'm getting more clicks on Kickstarter links. Views are phenomenal, like, so I'm really pleased.
No, really, because they're just fun to watch, because like it's not like when I do them, I'm just like, it's either static or or it's just like I try to keep it as simple as possible. And it's like, cause I just can't be bothered right now with them. But it's like you're timing it to music, you're timing the effects to music,
right?
There was one like how you made it loop was just like absolutely seamless. Like,
so where you didn't even realize you're still watching the same video.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just like, it's really fun to see. It's like how I don't know, just like kind of like, how just things are different. You know what I mean?
So I grew up. I
Yeah.
had to grow up. I had to become an adult.
Right.
I
Yeah.
decided to do it in my 40s, but whatever.
Right. Well, hey, I mean, it's like, yeah, but that's, it's like we get it when we get it, right? I mean, in the end, because I've been watching a lot of, well, ever since I kind of started making, because it's like, 'cause obviously I speak like I can't make a decision on anything. The idea of like, oh, you know what, maybe next year I should go back to doing conventions more seriously and this, that, and the other thing, kind of like, right. Especially since I did register. Well, I signed up for MoCA, which is originally started as a comic book convention run by the Society of Illustrators, but over the years it kind of changed more into kind of like a generic art festival. So I don't know, I haven't been there in years, so I really don't know like how much comics is still involved with it. I mean, I've watched some videos of it and it looks more like a stationary convention than it does with people selling, zines and stickers and stationery and prints, kind of like that, but like really, really indie. Right. You're not going to find prints of Deadpool here. But I don't know how much, and I wasn't accepted last year, but I figured I'd just try it again just to see if I get in. And then it's like, I'm thinking also because Baltimore Comic-Con is this weekend as well. And I'm like going, not that I regret not going this year, which in a sense that I do, because Rob's there, George has a table there. Like it would have been a lot more fun.
Yeah, Heather's going to be there. Like next year it's on. Yeah, she fucking ended up making plans with her friend to fucking hit it up Saturday. So it's like everybody's there.
Right. So it's like
except us.
Right, except us, right? Well, I mean, this year, I decided to just put my focus elsewhere, i.e. finishing my books. And then, work. Oh, it's like I'm too tired to make
work.
reels.
It takes work.
It really, yeah. That's why I can't get into it.
I just need to learn to be faster because I have literally taken an hour to make a 30-second reel.
Yeah. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. Especially if you're fussing with it and you're trying to get.
But I am getting faster because now on average I'm knocking them out in 10-15 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
And that's with transferring the pictures back and forth to myself.
Right. I mean, I just don't like the idea of working like that. Oh, Melissa says she went to MoCA in 2013 and it was awesome for indie comics. Yeah, like I said, I don't know. So like I said, I signed up for it anyway, just to see what happens. If I get accepted, that's great. That's $400 out of my pocket, but it is an expensive show. But if not, then it's like, look, I have all these other options already too. Like I said, like Baltimore, next year I have that Monster Erotica that I'm checking out to see if I can get, like to kind of get a sense of what I would need to do in order to get a table there. There's like a whole bunch of anime conventions that I want to try out if I can get through the lottery. And there's a lot of like other like more generic fantasy conventions and like romantasy conventions in Washington, D.C., which is really close to Baltimore where my sister lives. Right. So there's a lot of things I'm kind of thinking about, kind of like expanding it. Time is a flat circle, right? It's like, okay, I used to do a lot of conventions before. We laid off on it for like 15 years and now we're coming back into doing conventions again. So because it's like, look, you can't, in the end, it's like, you got to use everything to your advantage to promote your book. And especially the type of conventions that I've been looking at is like, it's a little bit different than just going to New York Comic-Con.
Right.
I know that Jose had signed us up for a library convention. So that one is going to be, I still have to kind of like get my head together around that. But we're going to be doing a library convention, so that's going to be a little different. See how that works. It kind of get back into the groove of it, right? So because of this, right, because of conventions, right, I had started watching sales videos on Reels. It's the TikTok videos they bring to Facebook, and they are the Instagram Reels and whatnot. Because the two people that I'm actually watching, they're both on Instagram, so that's probably where it's coming from. And it's kind of, it's like, so there's two people that I'm gravitating to. I only remember one woman. I only remember it's one guy and one woman. Shelby something. I don't know. It's like, she's this 23-year-old that works out of Miami. She has a pink Porsche. She does like something called remote closing. I don't know what the fuck they do. Both of them. They're both salespeople. I don't know what the fuck any of them do, right? But that's, in the end, that's not really what I'm watching them for, right?
Right.
I'm watching them more for kind of like the advice that they're giving. Why? What happened?
I don't know. Just the aqua. I'm a Barbie girl.
No,
like,
she really, no, for real.
Porsche.
For real. That's exactly what she looks like. She's got
God.
the long blonde, Ariana Grande.
Okay, so she's got the marketing by Mattel down.
Right. Yeah. No, for real. Right. And and she's very unapologetic about it, which is why I'm watching her. And it's just, and the other guy is kind of the same. Like, he's like, it's like, so the other guy is kind of funny in his own way, but these are the two people that I watch, right? So I'm watching them mostly not really for what they're selling, but like kind of like the advice that they're giving, right? Because you kind of think it's like, okay, so it's like, so it's like, it's like if I'm going to be in person and trying to sell stuff, right? So their whole thing is changing your vocabulary in order to speak to people about selling things, right? And here's the funniest thing that the guy had said. So they always have some, like, I don't know, some kind of like big titty receptionist doing a pretend interview with them, right? And she goes, what it's like, what makes your salespeople so successful, right? And the guy goes, oh, my salespeople are so successful because they don't sound like salespeople.
Word.
And and I had to laugh at that, right? Because I remember every convention where it's like you have the people screaming and jumping on tables and carnival barking and this, that, and the other thing, right? But also, it's like, even when you have the people who are trying to be kind of casual about it, right? They're still really cringe about it. Like, there is absolute, like, these guys are pitching to you. Right. So there's never, there's, it's like, I don't recall anybody having like any sense of subtlety for what they're trying to do. Right. So this guy is talking about that it's like, the secret to being a good salesperson is to not sell, is to not look like you're selling. Right. And part of part of that is that you kind of form a genuine rapport with the person on the other side of the table, right? Which is something I know a lot of people in indie comics don't know how to do. Yes. No,
absolutely,
it's really funny.
Melissa.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yeah. Don't forget that booth setup. Make your booth inviting and have good-looking labels for your work. No, absolutely. Yeah. Because it's like, because that's the thing also that these two people, the both of them, talk about, right? Presentation is everything, right? Because it's your presentation that's going to allow you to help break that resistance that you might have with a potential customer, right? But at the same time, you cannot treat them like you're just a customer, right? Because like, look, if you read any sales thing, right? Because this is kind of like my dilemma, right? Is that when you read any sales thing, doesn't matter what marketing book you get or anything. I mean, even the ones that we've been recommending for a while. What's the first rule of sales?
To know your product within the first 30 seconds.
Well, but also is that what problem does your product solve for the consumer?
No.
Right? That's like, what problem does the consumer have?
But in entertainment, you're not looking to solve a problem, really.
You see, that's the question that I have. Right. So it's like, because we're not selling mousetraps, right? No, we're not selling
alleviating boredom.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So that would be
providing visual effects for master. Wait, I'm sorry. What?
Usually that
we're live. We're live. Yeah.
Usually that sells itself. But but that's kind of the thing. I mean, it's like, we're not selling. Yeah, we're selling entertainment. Right. On no planet are people going to die. You can act like you're going to die.
Die of boredom? I've come very close.
You're not going to die if you don't have entertainment.
Well, no, because it's human nature to create entertainment.
True. No, absolutely. No, absolutely. Storytelling and, drawing on cave walls, that didn't come out of nowhere. It's like, it's like, and especially after the COVID lockdown, it really did show how important entertainment is.
Right.
Right. Even though people don't value it. That's the ironic thing about it, right? So it's like, so on one hand, entertainment is incredibly valuable to the point where people were literally protesting outside of Disneyland for it to open during COVID. Remember? It's like there were people literally demanding that Disneyland open their doors, right? Because the need for entertainment and escapism was that powerful. But at the same time,
even greater than the will to live.
You would think. You would think. But at the same time, we're also living in the same timeline, say that entertainment is not valuable and AI can do it. Right? Your skill is a creator.
And even when they're not looking at fucking AI and devaluing you, they're still devaluing you. Look at fucking what IDW is trying to fucking propose. $200 a page start to fucking finish max. Right. That includes at least 5 paid people. It's like, okay, bitch, I'm going to work for you for 10 cents an hour.
On one hand, IDW is looking very much forward to making that money off of what that simultaneously saying is a devalued product.
Right.
It's like, you're only worth $200 for an entire project.
Right. Oh, yeah, per book.
Right. Not
per book. I said per page.
Was it per page or per book? No,
it was per book.
Are you sure?
No, I'm pretty sure. Let me find the article. Pretty sure it was per book because I was like, okay, now you got your fucking line art.
Because I understood it was $200 per page, but divided among those people. But divided like if you have a writer, 5. Right? If you have a writer, an artist, a colorist, an inker, whatever you have on there, that cannot equal more than $200 a page. That's what I understood.
I know it's on here somewhere.
So so each page is divided by 5 people essentially, plus the cover.
Yeah, it was per book. Getting the cost per book. Yeah, per book down to $200
for the whole book, not per page.
I'm doubling up on this. Hold on, let me find it.
Right. So so either way, IDW only wants to make a $200 investment on what they're planning to make thousands on. Right? So but my point is that entertainment is incredibly valuable while at the same time being treated as it's not valuable. It has no value at all. Right. So that's kind of like
for $200 per comic to cover writing, penciling, inking, coloring, design, and editorial all in.
Holy moly. No wonder people for an entire book?
For an entire book from concept to completion.
Well,
yeah, good luck with that, motherfuckers.
Well, that's
and here we go. And this is why they'll need the AI.
Right, yeah. So then they can say, well, nobody would send us work.
Yeah, nobody'd send us work. Well, there's one idiot that was out there was like, I think this is great. And here, IDW, this is my call out to you. Yeah, dude, you look like a fucking retard. I mean,
okay. But yeah, but yeah, so so that's kind of like, so when you're if the first rule in sales is what problem are you solving with your product for your consumer, right? How does comics fit into this? Because it's like, yeah, it's like, it's like, yeah, we're entertainers, essentially. We're alleviating boredom.
Right.
We're offering an escapist fantasy. Right.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, so it's like, so now it's like I'm watching these videos and like going, okay, so how do I turn around and turn those three things
into something someone needs?
Right. Into like, yeah, exactly. Into like, a person comes to the table. Oh, so how you doing? It's like, oh, just looking, right? They just go, oh, I'm just looking, right? And it's like, oh, so what brings you, it's like, oh, so what are you looking for? What brings you to the convention, right? I mean, and also the trick is to make it sound like you actually give a shit about the answer, right? Because I think that a lot of people, which is something, well, Barbie, sales Barbie, right? That she had said that when she started selling, escapist fantasy every time I watch. I mean, because that's, because she talks about even going to the point of creating a persona to sell your product, and she was saying that because, like, she said that when she used to sell pest control, she made this entire character, the bug girl. Oh, I'm the bug girl, right? So it would kind of like, she would have like this goofy persona that would kind of like, oh, Melissa says you're providing the promise of something they can connect with, something to make them feel. Right. Yeah. Right. So it's kind of like how, it's like, like, okay, it's like, do I need a, it's like, yeah. So she talked about using a persona to kind of like, if you're having issues selling, to kind of like, okay, so create a character, kind of like bipolar disorder, but you're actually volunteering that, and she talked about how she created this persona of she was the bug girl. It's like, oh, hey, I'm your friendly neighborhood bug girl here, to talk to you about, you have a lake in the back. The mosquitoes must be crazy here during the summer. How can I alleviate that? Right. So how do I convert that, like in a convention setting? Right. It's like, it's like, hey, so what are you looking for? Right. It's like, oh, so what are you here? What are you here for? Are you looking for, are you just hanging out, or are you looking for something in particular? What kind of stories are you into? Right. But again, it's kind of like being able to speak like that while not sounding like a salesperson, because you figure the person in front of your table are already going to be suspicious with you anyway. Right. Oh, it's like, of course you're talking to me because you're trying to sell your book. Right. And, and it's kind of like, like I said, it's like I'm watching these two people, and they're talking about using your like changing your vocabulary, never apologize, for, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, if a person says, oh, it's like, your book is a little too expensive for me. It's like, oh, I completely understand. It's like, yeah, it is a trade paperback. It's like, it's kind of, it depends, it's not in everybody's budget, but luckily for you, I have these other alternative methods. If you're, it's like, if you want to check them out instead, maybe these are more budget friendly for you. Oh, that happened to me on my vlog, on my live stream on Wednesday. I actually got to try this out. So after about like a month of not doing my Wednesday vlog, I finally did one on Wednesday, and we had a lot of fun. I had a really good time on it. Got some sketching done. Broke the ice on Tall Tales. Oh, thank you, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Breaking the ice on Tall Tales issue 7. And somebody had come in saying that they had never heard of me or my books before, right? But they were intrigued by my thumbnail. And when they saw I was live, they came in, and then they became even more intrigued by what I was drawing, which was the first page of the next Tall Tales issue. And he started talking about, oh, it reminds me of Redwall and this, that, and the other thing. And I started just talking to him about Redwall. It's like, oh, yeah. It's like, Redwall. It's like, what I really love about Redwall? The fact that how obsessive it is about food and stuff like that, right? So we're just kind of like having this very natural conversation, right? And then it's like he asks about what the work that I'm doing, and it's like, okay, well, what is this? And I tell him about Tall Tales. Like, yeah, it's like, it's Lord of the Rings type of adventure. It's a furry adventure. This is the second story arc. And then yada yada, right? It's like I'm kind of like getting into kind of like I'm pitching on the air.
The acoustics are bad audio.
Yeah. Right. Oh, do we have bad audio?
Oh, I don't know. I had to unplug everything. I'm not even sure what I'm being heard through right now.
Oh, okay. Because
dude's like, I like your acoustics.
Oh, maybe it's the clacking of the free ASMR that
the birds.
that we're both offering, either the birds or you're typing. So, and I tell him about, it's like, yeah, it's like, if you're interested, you can go to my store. Link is in the show notes, yada, yada, right? I give him that, right? And then he goes, oh, it's like, I really would love to support your work, but I can't, I can't.
It's the office aesthetic.
I can't buy. Yeah, it is. I can't buy. I can't spend money. It's like, he goes, I forgot what, like, it's like, oh, I can't buy your book, right? It's like, it's like he goes, I'm poor or something. I don't remember exactly what he said, but pretty much it boils down to, I can't afford to buy it. And I go, funny, you should say that, right? And I kind of say it like that because it completely triggered this shit in my head. And I go, I'm on Webtoons. If you want to read my comic on Webtoons for free, you can go on over to Webtoons. I have my 2 comics up there. If you want to get a little bit more ahead of it, because I just started posting to Webtoons, you can head on over to my website and you can read the comic for free as well. And it's like, you can, 20 issues is on my website for free that you can read, no obligation, right? Right. And I start telling him that, hey, Jim, and I just start telling him that. It's like, no, don't worry. And I told him, it's like, look, don't worry about it. It's like, my $3. I go, it's like, look, my goal is for you to enjoy my work, not spend money on it. If you can't do that, regardless of whether you're spending money on it or not, I want you to enjoy my work. So I have it available in these formats for free that you can read at your leisure, and if later on you want to, to pick up hard copies of it, I have that too, and eventually I'm going to I'm going to like, I'm going to have to finally open up that account with BookFunnel so that I could offer up like PDFs and EPUBs of everything. It just seems so much easier that way. So the idea, was just like, oh, I have this to offer you. It's like, oh, you don't have to spend money. It's like, luckily for you, you don't have to spend money. I have something for you already. Yes, my favorite price too, right? And then the guy's like going, oh, wow, it's like, you just gained a subscriber. That's great. I'm going to check out your stuff and blah, 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 right? And in the end, it's like, and then we just spent the rest of the stream just continuing our conversation with each other, right? It's like we kind of got like that sales thing out of the way, and now we were just able to go back to enjoying the stream. And I felt really good about it. It's like I go, wow, so if I can like kind of like get that kind of like that vibe in a convention setting, I might be able to do okay. You know? And the thing that I really thought about when that happened was every person who said, right, is, or you eat like $1,500 worth of edibles.
I have not eaten $1,500 worth, only about 300.
Okay. You know, and it's like, you know, and all I could think about afterwards was all the people that told us, don't give your stuff away.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to put my stuff online for free because then nobody will buy it.
Right. And we hear that
all the time. I hear that
like,
all the time.
It's like, dude, if you don't give that fucking sample.
Right. You know, and honestly, which is more important? The sale or cultivating an enthusiastic fan? That maybe you're not going to get them now. Right? But at least you gave them enough that you might be able to get them later. Right? It's like, which is more important? You know, the fact that someone's reading your book for free, or the fact that the person reading your book for free might really, really like your stuff.
Right.
And that's kind of like what I was thinking about. It's like, oh, you know, maybe this is what those two people were talking about, the two salespeople, you know, that kind of like have these options, right? It's like, oh, I can't spend money. You don't have to. Lucky for you, you don't have to. You know, check out the website that's on for free. Check out Webtoons. It's there for free. You know, because I don't know. It's like, I don't know whether this is just me or not, but just because I have something for free doesn't mean I won't want to spend money on it later.
Exactly. Right. This right here.
Right. We had, he says, we had a guy here in Australia who posted his entire book online for years. Then he did a Kickstarter and killed it over 12K.
And that's the trend with fucking Webtoons.
Right, because
they're
like
killing it.
That was the thing that, like, there was a recent Webtoons that I saw where it's about like weasels. You know, it's like a furry comic about weasels, right? And that shit made 30 grand on Kickstarter. You know, it wasn't a porno book. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't a romance, but it was a furry book. It was kind of like Watership Down with weasels, right? Kind of like really niche out, you know, really niche. And he made 30 grand on Kickstarter because he had been running that series for free on Webtoons and on his own website, right? So it's like, yeah, so it's like, which is more important, the actual sale or cultivating an enthusiastic audience through giving away your product for free, or at least having the option to do that? Oh, but the point that I wanted to make, right, was that, like, just because I'm like consuming media for free, I hate wording it like that, that doesn't mean I'm not willing to spend money on it later. There are plenty of books that I've downloaded like free samples of, and I'm like going, like, within like the first 3 pages, I'm spending $20 on the hard copy. You know, so it's like, it's not like it's that unusual of a situation, right? It's not like we're doing, you know, I mean, you know what I mean by that? I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like, just because you're giving away something for free, which is redundant to say, you're giving it away, doesn't mean that that person is not going to buy it. I mean, what was that thing? Who was that? Was it Judas Priest? It was another one. Black Sabbath, I think. No, I don't know. It was one of these. It was one of these bands, right? Where what they had done was that they had figured out. I guess this is. I don't remember if this was back in the Napster days or not. You know, when Metallica was suing to shut down Napster because, oh, you're not supposed to get our stuff for free. This other band, what they did was they did the opposite. They went to see which countries were downloading their shit, were bootlegging their shit, and then they based a tour on that information. And it was their biggest grossing tour they had ever done. They went to the countries. They did a tour in the countries that were downloading their music for free, like, you know, through Napster. Who's downloading our music the most? Oh, this country, this country, this country. Okay, we're gonna do a tour there. And what happens is that all these people who were downloading their music for free, they all went to the concerts. Whatever money that they would have lost by them downloading for free, they completely made up, I don't know, tenfold by doing a concert there. Because in the end, people wanted their music, you know, and they were willing to pay for it eventually, apparently, which they did. So that's it, you know, so it's like, that's kind of like, you know, like what these two salespeople were kind of like making me think of. And then it's like, and then kind of like seeing it inadvertently in action on my own stream, you know, and it's kind of like, oh, I can actually do this. You know, maybe I could actually do this, you know, kind of like get out of my ass, get out of my own ass about this. And like, going, you know what? I've probably only been making sales, right? You know, I've probably only been making sales harder for me just because I just get stuck in my head. You know?
Yeah. Well, we are worse enemy.
Right. You know, it's like, yeah, exactly. That it's like, you know, and it's kind of like, you're kind of like the opposite, like people who sound way too much like salespeople, you know, at conventions, right? That's kind of them getting in the way of themselves too.
Right.
You know, because it's like, you can sell a book, but are you selling to a fan? Or are you just selling to somebody who just wants you to shut up?
Ha! $5 here. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, and look, I've done that.
Me too.
I've done that. So
have I.
So I know when people do that.
In fact, there was one table at MegaCon. I probably put out $25 fucking dollars because every time I had to round that fucking corner, it was like,
right. Yeah, exactly.
And the dude smelled like a blooming onion. There was that too.
You know, I mean, you know, so yeah, so it's like, buy my shit, yeah. I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll quite work. You know.
It felt like the motherfucker that'll grab your fucking shoe at the mall, like just grab your leg and start polishing your fucking shoe to show you the whitening product or some shit. And it's like, here, take my money. Fuck, don't touch me, bro.
And you know what? And it's like, yeah, and look, none of us like that. Okay, no. Yeah, those kiosks where they're like, oh, you know, smell this, and it's like, no, none of us like that. So it's like, so why do we expect people to put up with that from us when we do it at a convention? If we wouldn't like it, why do you think your consumer is going to like it, right? Your potential consumer. So yeah, so I think that's kind of like, you know, that especially when the end game is raising awareness to buy our stuff online and on Kickstarter, right? We have to make that decision. It's like, are you just selling a product for the sake of selling a product, or are you cultivating an audience?
Right.
You know, because unlike a mousetrap, right? If that shit works, you probably know. It's like the joke that I always tell my plumber. It's like, oh, nice to see you. It's like, I hope I never have to see you again. You know, nice to see you. And I go, no, it's not, because it means something's broken. You know? And right. And it's like, yeah, I know, right? Missed it. You know, and it's like, yeah, and it's like, and I said that after he fixes it, it's like, oh, I'll see you later. And I hope not, because if you fixed it correctly, I don't have to see you again. That's not the case with entertainment. I want people to come back. That's the point. We want people to come back, you know, for issue after issue after issue. So we're not just selling a product. We're not just selling one book. So on the screen, we're down to the last 20 seconds of House of Bob. So you have 15 seconds to go if you want to pledge to the campaign. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. There we go. There we go, everybody. Oh my goodness. Wow. 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 Was this a campaign I was underestimating like crazy? Thank you so much to the 104 backers pledging $7,659 to this campaign. House of Bob, Mondo Bondo, the first sketchbooks in my furry pinup art collections. For those, also the only place you could have gotten commissions from me. Thank you so much, everybody. I am still floored by this. Like I said, my first campaign, I think I had like 47 backers and I raised just over $2,000. And this one, thank you, Melissa. And this one just completely exceeded my expectations. I didn't think something this niche would do as well as it did. But thank you, everybody. Also, I didn't realize so many people wanted original artwork from me. Let's just put that out there, too. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, HR. Thank you. So that brings another campaign to a close. I can't thank everybody enough for it. So like I said, what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be doing some final counts, just checking over the files one last time. Also waiting if there's anybody who hasn't updated their payment. Just keep just kind of like keep them in the reminder loop. And once everything is kind of settled, then I'm going to send out the files to get done. And hopefully in 2 weeks, I can start shipping out books and also start shipping out the first of the commissions, because definitely I'm going to start doing that this weekend. So again, wow, this was a pretty interesting campaign. What did you think about it, Nita?
I thought it was fun. I had fun.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that this campaign was a surprise on so many different levels, and kind of like stating, kind of like reiterating what I was getting at. And it's like, and I hope that people enjoy what they see on this campaign, that they come back next year.
Right.
Because like I said, it's like we have to all decide what is it that we're offering. It's like what is it that we're offering? Are we just selling a product, or are we cultivating an audience? Are we creating an audience that's going to be excited for everything that we put out?
Right.
And I think a lot of people miss that part, that they think that, oh, I don't care if you don't come back, I got your money. Right. Or that type of thing. It's like, do you really, for that, if that's how you're going to think about it, why aren't you out selling gym memberships? You'll make more money selling gym memberships than selling comics.
Right.
If that's going to be your attitude about it, it's like, we're going out of our way to create these books, tell these stories. Right. And to me, it's like, it doesn't make any sense to all of a sudden and turn around. It's no different than selling a keychain.
Right.
Right. Oh, as long as I got your money for the keychain, I don't give a shit if you come back or not. And it's like, you know what? This is a lot of work and effort that we're putting in to have that in our thoughts. To treat the people that we're trying. Yeah,
that's too much work.
To make more comics. Yeah, exactly. It's like this is a lot of work for us to be doing, to just say, oh, it's like, oh, if you don't buy it, I don't care. And if you buy it, I got your money. I don't care if you come back or not.
Right.
Like, it's kind of weird to see people act like that.
Yeah. About their passion project.
Right, exactly. About something that is supposedly something they had like an innate desire to do.
Right.
And then to have pretty much resentment for their audience, like because that's, it's like, oh, you didn't buy my stuff, or
right.
It's like, or it's like, oh, why should I, it's like, why should I care about my audience? It's like, you either buy my stuff or you don't. And it's like, yeah, comics are a lifestyle of the poor and destitute. Hey, you do what you can. It's like, look, ever since my accountant told me, because it's like, I had asked my accountant, because, everyone's like, oh, form an LLC and this, that, and the other thing, right?
Right.
And I had asked my accountant about that. It's like, oh, people are recommending that I form an LLC. Is that such a good idea? And she goes, no, you don't make enough money to do that.
Right.
If you were making enough money to pay yourself an actual salary for what you do, then I would recommend it. But when you form an LLC, and especially like when you're considering the laws of New York that about the LLC, you're going to be responsible for so much stuff that your business technically cannot afford to do.
Right.
You don't make that money, right? So pretty much she was telling me, it's like, you have a hobby. You have a hobby. Up until the point you're making your own salary, you have a hobby. And I go, you know what? I have a hobby. I am not going to pretend that I am running a business because my accountant says so. I'm not going to pretend I'm running a business. But I am, but I think that by her telling me that kind of freed up the brain space for me. It's like,
right.
What? No, this is something that I'm doing because I love to do it. This is something that I'm doing because I want to share these stories. Right. And it's like, and this is something that I'm doing that, selling it is great, but I would rather have you enthusiastic about my work first. I would rather give you my work for free so that you can like enjoy it. And then later on, we'll meet later on the Kickstarter.
Right.
We'll meet later on the store. But it's like, but I want you enjoying my book now. I'm not going to tell somebody, oh, I can't afford your book. Sucks to be you. Nothing I can do about that. Right? How stupid does that sound? Why are you doing this if you're not giving that person the opportunity to know your story, to know your work, regardless of whether they buy it or not? What do you think that's telling them about how you feel about their attention? That's not worth anything. Right? And it's like, if you're inadvertently telling your audience your attention is not worth anything to me, then you can't complain when they don't pay attention to you. So it's like, I would rather be able to tell a person who can't afford my book right now.
Right.
It's not in their budget for whatever reason.
Right. Here you go.
Matter. It's like, right. It's like, oh, catch me on Webtoons. Catch me on my website. I have the first 20 issues online for free that you could check out. You can read the book for free. Right? Check it out. You can do that. Or it's like, or what Jose used to do. Here's $1 book. Well, I have a book for $1. If
right.
It's like, just buy it for $1, enjoy the story. And if you want to come back later, and if you decide you want to buy my book, my trade paperback, I'll give you your $1 back. I'll give you your $1 back and apply it towards the trade paperback, whatever you want to buy. But it's like, what? I have it. It's like what it is? I have no money should never be a barrier to somebody enjoying your work. And it's kind of, and it's like, kind of like, I don't know. I think that might be the inadvertent lesson that I'm learning between these two. Woo! If it was only that easy. Right? But it's like, yeah, so combined with, with Sales Barbie and Sales Ken that I'm watching on Facebook, right? And then combined with what happened to me on my stream on Wednesday, right? I'm kind of feeling a little bit more confident about going back to conventions, or just kind of like refocusing what I'm supposed to be doing in general. I'm kind of feeling confident. It's like, you know what? Maybe I was thinking about this wrong the entire time. Maybe I was like a little too up my ass about, it's like, oh, I got anxiety. I don't want to talk to anybody, and it's like, stop being an asshole. Actually care about the audience you're trying to cultivate. It's the thing that I had posted the other day on Facebook. Don't complain about the work. No, don't complain about the results you didn't get for the work you didn't do. And it's like, yeah, you know what? That's it. If I'm not cultivating an audience, however I can, I cannot complain about not having their attention.
Right.
So that's kind of like, that's, so I don't know. It's like I'm feeling kind of in a way, but in a good way about all this. Yeah, you have the audience. Oh, that's a good one. You have the audience you deserve.
Right.
It's true. Right. It's true. If you're cultivating an audience that just wants you to shut up, right? Who trained them to be like that? Right? If you're cultivating an audience who it's like, oh, I don't care if they read my stuff as long as they buy it. And then you find that their support is really, really fickle. Right. Who trained them to do that? Who trained the audience to do that? Right? If you treated your audience as just a means to an end, it's like the sale is the most important. It's like, oh, I don't care whether you like it. Oh, hey, Marcus, hello, yes. And so it's like that's kind of like, it's like, oh, I only care about the sale. I don't care about cultivating,
right?
Cultivating that audience. So when you run a Kickstarter and all of a sudden nobody shows up, who trained them to do that? Right? It's like you get the audience you deserve. And the only people training them to act that way.
And then we wonder why we're hated. Right. We wonder why people hate watches.
Well,
you asked for it, motherfucker.
I mean, it's like, look, I don't even, it's like, look, this is a journey that I'm on myself.
Right.
Okay.
No, for
so
sure.
It's like, honestly, this is nothing. If anything, this is only personal to me, but if the shoe fits, feel free to dance.
Cinderella.
I mean, I'm serious. It's like, look, everything that we talk about on this show pretty much is based on our personal experiences. And I'm only mentioning it to kind of like, do you resonate with it? Do you not resonate with that? Maybe this is something you should try. And we always say, it's like, take what makes sense to you and leave the rest. If something we say makes sense to you and you think you can apply it, please feel free. If you find out it doesn't work, that's okay too. It's not that we're wrong. It's just that it doesn't work for you. That's not what you need to do, because all our books are different. So even though we're all selling entertainment, it's very personalized in a way.
Right.
Because everybody has we're talking. Well, first I just ended a campaign. I just ended a campaign for House of Bob, which I spoke about on the on the stream the other day, right? And pretty much that
what we're talking about is whatever comics,
right, and
chaos, and whatever.
Right, and now we're just talking about just
houses.
Sales in general, like how other creators can sell their books or try to sell their books, because like I said, the vlog, the draw stream that I do on Wednesdays is more of a free-for-all, whatever we have a conversation for it. This one has a little bit more of focused topics, so in this case we're talking about creators and how that they really need to come to Jesus as to why they're doing this. For real. It's like creators have to, it's like you have to sit down with yourself and understand why you are doing this. Do you want to just sell tchotchkes? Do you just want to sell product? Right. Then I don't know, go sell gym memberships. Right? Go sell pest control. You'll make more money that way. Right. Shit, just go work at Chipotle. You'll make more money that way. Right? But if you're selling the extension of a passion that you have, right? That's a completely different thing. Right? And that requires you to genuinely interact with the people you want interacting with you. You can't just say you're the customer, you're over here. It's like, no, I want you to enjoy my stuff. So I need to cultivate whatever it is I need to cultivate to get you to enjoy my stuff. However it is I need to do it. Do I give you my book for free? Yeah, it's available on a website, available on Webtoon, right? It's like, it's like, oh, are you at a convention? It's like, well, I can't afford the trade paperback. Oh, here's a $1 book. Here's a $2 book. It's like, oh, here's the little zine that I have where you can download the PDF. It's half the price. Right? So maybe you can't do a physical copy, but maybe you can buy the PDF version of the trade paperback for half the price. Right? Oh, yeah. Well, that's right.
My therapist says.
Right, yeah. So that's kind of like, so in the end, yeah. So I it's I guess that's kind of just me sorting out what's in my head, considering watching these two salespeople on Facebook ending this campaign the way that it did and the way it surprised me,
I am a back end worker. I do editing, and this is my channel.
Yeah,
like this is what I do.
Yeah, she hosts all these creators on on her YouTube channel.
Yep, and yeah,
right, so and she does social media marketing for several.
Small press publishing companies such as Lone Wolf Comics, Ethereal Comics, Hasm Productions.
Right. But yeah, so that's, I don't know, that's where I am so far on this thought process. What do you think, Nita? What's your?
No, I'm down. I agree. We got to change our vocabulary.
Yeah, we have to change it. We have to change our vocabulary. We have to change how we look at our audience. Right. How we treat our audience, what we offer to our audience. It's like we have to think about what problem are we solving, right? And it's like, yeah, it's entertainment, right?
Right.
But here's the question. What's so special about what you're offering, what your entertainment, like the entertainment that you're offering is different from everybody else's entertainment? Right. And it's like, and is that an issue that you have to work with your audience? That it's like, okay, it's like, what's getting in the way of you enjoying my work? How can I fix that? If this is something that you want, if this is initially something you want to read, what's getting in the way of you enjoying it? Right. So I guess that's kind of like the question I have to ask myself at conventions, right? That it's like, okay, they're here at my table. They're obviously interested, but what's getting in the way?
Right.
And how can I alleviate that? Right. And how can I make this person at my table, even if they don't go away, even if they go away not buying anything, how do I keep myself in their thoughts about, about what we were about this encounter, right?
You could do the whole key trick where you have to find your keys and you do something stupid, like when you put your keys on the bookshelf, you scream like ah! So you fucking remember when they come to your table.
Oh, right. Well, that's true. Right.
Have your normal conversation and then just tweak the fuck out on them one time real quick. And
the one that I heard was that when you put your keys down, sing your favorite song. Start singing.
But see, that varies. I could never do that.
Right. Yeah.
Like, my favorite song depends on my mood of the day.
Well, that's true, right? Because like so is like if you put your keys down and you start singing, and then when you forget where your keys are, you remember where you start singing. It's like, oh wait, I was singing before. What was I singing? And then you remember it was something like that. I've done that before. But yeah, so I don't know. So like I said, like for everybody watching, it's like, look, this is, like I said, this is just our personal view on stuff. If it works for you, great. It's my sketchbook.
It's her sketchbook, and all the links are included there to all the individual campaigns.
Right.
So all the info you need is right there.
Right in the right there. And it's like you can check out, even though the Kickstarter just ended, the information is there. If it's something that you could like to consider later on to pick up, I'm going to have it in my store later this year. So, you kind of have everything there. Also, you can just go to my website. House of Bob is there too, egoworks.com. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Actually, because it's like we're wrapping up. We're just wrapping up the show. So again, any final thoughts, Nita?
Hold the phone. I'll be right back.
Oh no. Well, in the meantime, so I just want to thank everybody who joined us in the chat. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you everybody who pledged to the House of Bob sketchbook campaign. Thank you so much for that. Like I said, it's like you guys just completely floored me on the support of this campaign. And thank you so much to our beautiful eyeball people watching us from regions beyond. Thank you so much for joining us for this almost hour and a half of show. And I hope everybody got something out of this. Listening to my rambling, listening to our rambling, and getting whatever you need out of it. It's like, look, in the end, if you got something out of it, great. If not, I hope you were entertained anyway. So, any shows or anything?
I don't have any announcements.
Right,
just please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so YouTube will update you so I don't have to. My fucking cat just tried to kill himself, so my brain's all distracted.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, that's because that's what they do sometimes. So if you want to learn more about me and my artwork and my upcoming campaigns and everything else, you can head on over to my main portfolio site at egoworks.com, EGOWORKS, where you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook. If you're interested in seeing sketches and current work in progress updates, and remember that you could also catch me here on YouTube for videos and my semi-weekly art live streams Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. 2 hours of me just working and drawing and talking to the chat, whatever free-for-all conversation we'll have there. Like I said, it's kind of like a convention, being at a convention, but you don't have to worry about blocking my table. Also, you can also read Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, for free, uploading every day, Monday through Friday. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a furry Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link to Tall Tales, TAILS online.com. And not only can you read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free, but you can catch up on the latest story arc, Tears in the Mother, which is also currently uploading Monday through Friday. And also remember that you can read Tall Tales and Ego Raven on Webtoon. Ego Raven uploads every Tuesday on Webtoon. Tall Tales uploads every Thursday on Webtoon. So you have an option for that as well. So thank you so much, everybody, chat, eyeball people, whatever. If you're catching us on the replay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who supported the Kickstarter. And in the words of the ancients, eat your food, moisturize, mind your business, and do the work. Because when you actually do the work, you never have to fake any of your accomplishments. Thank you so much again, and we'll see you next time.
Toodaloo.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You're cool. And fuck you, I'm out.